I've always been a fan of harmony my whole life, ever since I started playing Bill Evans' transcriptions on the piano when I was little. And I think vocal music is at the very top of its game right now. Certainly the groups I listen to, Accent, the Real Group, and the ones from the past that they followed, the Singers Unlimited, the High Lows, Take Six, they've all utilized harmony in such a wonderful and evolving way. And another person that really inspires me every time I hear one of his tracks is Jacob Collier. He's just, to me, a genius in everything he does. And I'm thrilled that vocal music is taking off, because as a daughter of a singer myself, I've listened to it my whole life, and it's just gotten better and better, and that's good for all of us listeners. I come from a musical family. My dad was the lead clarinet with Glenn Miller and went on to have a very successful career as a studio musician in Hollywood. And my mother sang as a sentimentalist with Tommy Dorsey, and then she came out to Hollywood and became a very successful studio session singer. And so this was the kind of environment I grew up in my own home, very intimidated and daunted by my parents' success. When it was time for me to choose a career path, I thought the only options for me were piano or voice, and I wasn't passionate about either. So I ended up getting a degree in television production in college, thinking I would go to that field. And I was working my way up the ladder, and somewhere during that time, I broke my leg skiing in 5 places and was laid up for 9 months. And it was during that time that a family friend took me out to lunch and asked me what my big dream was and why wasn't I writing scripts. I told her I didn't have any ideas about scripts, but my big dream had been to write a score like Johnny Mandel had done for the Sandpiper, because that score was so evocative and orchestrally jazzy, and it just touched me deeply. So, but I felt like there were no women doing this sort of thing, and I didn't have any role models, but this family friend encouraged me to continue and be the first, and also to study privately. So I then went off and studied orchestration and studied composition privately until I started ghostwriting and getting shows under my own name as a composer. And that was the beginning of my TV composing career.
There you go.
I've been a member of Performing Rights Society since I first started composing. It's the only way to collect royalties and make sure you're paid years to come. And that's exactly what's happening. I was a member of ASCAP for many years, and now I'm a member of BMI. And even when times are tough and things are slow, I'm still getting checks in the mail for TV composing I did years ago. So it's been a real blessing to me. As far as representation, once I started composing, I accumulated a number of music cues which I had on a demo reel, and I was able to get jobs from those, and pretty soon agents started calling, and that's sort of the way it works in Hollywood. I was thrilled when I got a call from Andrew Kessler to participate in the new Accent Christmas album, Christmas All the Way. After all, they had their pick of any arranger in Hollywood, or around the world for that matter, and they chose me. So I was very flattered and honored. And when I received the track for Oh Holy Night, I was kind of surprised, because I thought, there's no space for me here, and what do you need me for? So I called Andrew and I said, you know, your track is complete, you don't need any orchestra behind it. And he said, but we do want that. And so let me work on the vocals a little bit. And he thinned them out a little bit so I would have some areas in which I could stretch out. And I'm just glad to be a part of the whole thing, because it's such a wonderful accomplishment. And they are really at the top of their game, and this is the apex of vocal music, so it's nice to be part of this nice ride that they're on.